My name is Devin Johnson. I'm a regional agency director here at Symmetry Financial Group. Been a part of this company for 7 years now. Love to play golf. Anytime I can play, that's what I'm gonna be doing. My previous career, I spent 5.5 years in the automotive sales industry. Started my career when I was 19, knowing that I wanted to be in sales, having an opportunity. While I was in that industry, I decided to start my own business. Coming from a family of business owners, that was something that I knew I wanted for myself, but I found out very early that it was hard to be very profitable, and it took many years to be able to have profitability and extreme cash flow in the self-employment space. So I decided I wanted to start looking for something else, and I was introduced by Jordan Hunt for this opportunity. I was actually introduced to Brian through Jordan Hunt. Actually, after leaving the dealership, when I thought I wanted to come to Symmetry part-time, I was able to meet Brian at a dinner, and at that dinner we were able to speak for just a few minutes about what an opportunity here would look like. Fast forward a couple months later, Jordan was able to get me to my first national conference. I remember walking in a Delaney event after conference, and will never forget that Delaney stopped in his tracks when he seen me, and he mentioned my name, and he said, "Devin Johnson, what are you doing here?" And I'll never forget that was a moment that this is a guy with extreme intention, and that someone that had a lot of credibility that I wanted to follow. The first moment for me that I felt that this could not work, or that my belief and my path was uncertain, was 2 weeks after my first national conference in September of 2018. I had just started my pre-licensing course and was working on getting my insurance license. A hurricane hit the coast of North Carolina, flooded my wife and I's home just 4 months after we were married, and we lost everything. And at that time, I had already walked away from a 6-figure sales position that I'd been a part of for 5.5 years, and I had to make a decision. What am I gonna do? I had no money coming in. I did not even have an insurance license yet, and this was the path that I thought I wanted to be on. But I had my first moment where I was struck with deciding if this is what I was gonna keep pushing for, or if I was gonna give up and go chase another thing that can give me quick fulfillment. And I'm so grateful that I continue to push into the Symmetry system and keep my belief firm in what we have here, because the success was able to be created. I was able to change my wife and I's life, but I'll never forget those early days when I had to make a decision if this is the way I'm still gonna go, or if I'm gonna just go chase another opportunity or another route. I think the biggest shift that I heard someone speak a message early on in my journey that said decisions, not conditions, will determine your outcome. And what I had to do is I could have looked at my conditions, losing everything that I had, getting up at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning and ripping the sheetrock and floorboards out of my home, and then having to go make dials just a couple of hours later. I could have made a decision in that moment that those conditions were too hard for me, but I was able to understand that the decision that I make will determine who I'm gonna be and the legacy that I'm gonna be able to leave, not just for myself, but for my family. And if there's anything I can say that shifted my mindset and getting me out of a victim's mentality, is that decisions, not conditions, will determine your destiny. If someone only got to see things now, and the success, the time off, the 65 rounds of golf that I've played up until the midway point of the year, all of that stuff is awesome and it's great, and I'm super grateful for it. But what a lot of people would not know is the countless Sundays when I started at this company, missing Sunday football games and having to make dials, and doing it when I didn't want to. Nothing a part of me wanted to do those things, but it was what was necessary at that time. I'll never forget, I came from making 6 figures a year before finding this opportunity, knowing what that felt like, having an identity in that. I had already created an identity that I was earning an amazing living at a young age. And I'll never forget talking to a business owner that I know that owned a wedding venue and telling them that I will rake the pine straw on your property on the weekends just so I can buy leads. People don't know those things. People don't understand the sacrifices that it takes to earn what the people that you have, to earn what they have. And so one mistake that I would say is that people don't see those sacrifices and they only see the success. They say it must be nice. Well, yeah, that's right. It is nice. After 7 years in this business, what I wish I had known earlier than I do now is that time will always go by faster than what you think it will. No matter your age, no matter your opportunity, no matter your potential, no matter what you believe you have and what you're gonna do, time will flee from you faster than what you believe it will. And there will come a day when you realize that you slipped. You allowed yourself to get comfortable, and day by day, moment by moment, you allowed yourself to slowly die and not be in the position that you could have been in by micro sacrifices and micro decisions that could have been made along the way that will further your betterment and your success. And so to anybody listening to this, to learn from someone that's not really wise, just been doing this a little while, is take every moment with extreme importance. Know that every moment matters, every decision matters, whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. Every one of them matter, and your time is ticking. Leadership to me now, after all these years, isn't a title. It's truly not even a level of success, because sometimes success can be bought and given. What I have discovered and what I have found is that leadership is getting results in a way that inspires trust. And the greater the results that you can get, the more trust you can inspire to other people. And the more you can inspire others, the greater impact you will be able to have into people's lives, into people's impact, into people's destiny. If I could say any way that I feel like leadership has changed, it has changed for me in that way, in not seeing anyone's title, someone's success, but seeing their ability to continually get results and inspire the next generation. I came here when Brian was an established leader in this company. I think Brian had been here up until that point 7 or 8 years, and he was already earning an incredible income. A guy that could have easily been vacationing, relaxing, probably doing what I would be doing in that position. And what I watched is month after month, year after year, getting in a car and driving wherever he needs to drive and having a conversation wherever he needs to have a conversation to inspire the next level of leaders that are coming along the way, because he believes that those people need it. And he believes that, and he knows that he has something inside of him that he can give to those people that can just get them to the next day, get them to the next month, the next year, and the next breakthrough. And that's what I am so grateful for, to be able to have learned from a leader like Brian that has just guided our path, continually showed the way, and always showed us what hard work was like.